welcome back to my channel. For those of you who've been here before, and for all the newbies out there, welcome to Cocktails and Crochet with Coco. I'm Coco, and in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make, I don't know, I guess kind of a yarn ring, which is to help you tension and hold your yarn. It's by special request from someone who's getting a little raw around the finger from all the crocheting she's done. So it'll help keep the yarn away from your finger if you are experiencing trouble like that. It'll also help you tension it. It's great for beginners if you're trying to learn how to hold your yarn while crocheting. I actually whipped up a couple of these for my son who was having trouble holding his yarn while crocheting. I made him two. One here to tension his yarn, and I put a second one on his pinky finger to help hold the other end of the yarn out of the way. So great for anyone trying to teach your kids or any children, and for any adults. I think one would be sufficient, but you can always do the second one as well. The only downside to crocheting a yarn ring rather than buying one that hooks on is once it's on your project, it's on your yarn until you're done your project. So it is a really quick 5-10 minute max project. So I do suggest whipping up a few of these just so that you always have one on hand when if you have one in the middle of a project, you want to start another one. If you've been crocheting for a while, you know what it's like to have multiple whips. So have a couple of these worked up, ready to go for when you need it the most. So yeah, so with that said, let's get right to it and see what we're going to need for this tutorial. Welcome back, guys. Okay, just to kind of show you how it works, it's got double crochets in the middle. So you kind of slip your yarn just in and out as if you're doing a front post double crochet or whatever, just in and out one of them. And then you slip it on your finger, wherever it's most comfortable for you. And then it just kind of pulls like that. So that's how that works. So I'm going to show you how to make one. Now I have rather large fingers, so I've come to the conclusion that a chain of 8 works for me. But if you have really narrow fingers or skinny fingers or whatever, you can switch that to 6 or 7 chains, depending, whatever works for you. So you're going to start with a slip knot, make a chain. For me, it's going to be 8. 1, whoopsie. So whenever you've done, I suggest trying 8, and then if it's too big or small, adjust from there. And then you join the other end with a slip knot. There we go. All right, get that tail out of the way. All right, so then chain 1 and single crochet 8 around, or again, depending on the number of chains you did, that'll be the number of single crochets you'll do around. So for me, it's going to be 8. Well, I don't know. And once you've made your way around, let me just get a little more yarn here. Once you've made your way around, you just slip stitch into the first single crochet you did. And that chain 1 at the beginning didn't count as a stitch. I forgot to mention that. So once you've gone around with your single crochets, you'll chain 1, which again does not count as a stitch. Turn your work and double crochet around. So for me, it's going to be 8 double crochets. For you, it could vary depending on the size of your fingers. So again, just 1 double crochet in every stitch around. Oops, I was going to do another single there. Let's try that again. Still getting used to crocheting on a table rather than my lap. It's a little weird. All right. Once you've done the number of double crochets you need, just slip stitch into the top of the first. Oops, there we go. Chain 1, turn your work again, and then just 1 more single crochet around. Again, the same number of single crochets as the number of chains you started with. And if you happen to be, I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, if you're a really loose crocheter, like I'm kind of in the middle, I think. If you're a really loose crocheter, maybe go down to a 4.5 millimeter hook. If you're an average crocheter, use the 5 millimeter. And if you're super, super tight crocheter, maybe go up to a 5.5 millimeter hook. Okay, so I've made my way around. Just slip stitch into the top of there. And grab some scissors. Leave enough tail that you can weave in. Oops. Bring it around. Fasten off. Give it a little tug. Give it a little tug at the beginning too. And then you just weave in your 2 ends. And you've got your yarn ring. Just pop it on and you're good to go. Just stick some yarn in and out of your double crochet there and you're good to go. So again, like I showed you, it's super quick. So I do suggest making a few of these just to have them on the ready. Thanks for joining me, guys. See y'all later.